Hey everybody, nude face reveal. My snobby music listening physique is now out there for the whole world to see, and today...
Okay, nah. Hey everybody, Newt here. Glad to reveal my face to all of you music haters out there, such as myself. I've decided to take up first time reactions, so we're gonna go with a band that I've been told a lot of good things about that I have not heard yet. You've already read the title, so it's not much of a reveal, but we've got an album here called Symbolic by Death. I've not listened to any death metal before, aside from like a little bit of cattle decapitation. I guess like some songs from Slipknot kind of count. And you know, we've all heard the death metal vocals before. I mean, that's just a given when it comes to listening to metal music. But like, this is like the first actual like death metal that I will ever listen to. I was actually told to listen to Leprosy, but... Okay, so the first track is a track called Symbolic by Death. Whoa! When I think death metal, I think like very extreme. Then again, I guess this is like kind of late in Death's discography. But like, to me, this sounds like what early Metallica sound like when it comes to their instrumentation. But then obviously you have like what James Hetfield doesn't sing like, you know, just the iconic death metal vocals. Like, this is what, you know, your grandmas and grandpas think when they think metal. But without the extreme instrumentation, it feels like a lot more accessible. And then you got the tempo change there was wildly unexpected. I'm noticing the drumming that's characteristic to death metal here, with like the bass drums being kicked at like a high speed. I'm noticing that. Feeling a bit like familiar with the grounds that I stepped in already, which is nice to know, because I thought death metal would be quite inaccessible. It doesn't have that like familiar song structure that you usually get. This feels like it's kind of like just going verse, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus, verse, verse, chorus, kind of like that. You don't really know like what's the chorus and what's the verse, so the whole song you're just kind of like on your toes. Ooh, that transition was nasty. Ooh, okay, hold on. With the first song, Elephant in the Room, the vocals. When the genre of death metal was blooming, I feel like the vocals weren't more for a shock factor, but more for like a method to express the urgency of the meaning of lyrics that are being sung. The title of the song is literally like symbolic. It's literally the title of the song, and you know, when you got songs that are symbolic, they want you to go through the lyrics and figure out what it means lyric by lyric. So there's obviously some importance in what they're singing about here, which reinforces like the extremeness of the lyrics, how urgent like it sounds. Alright, next track, Zero Tolerance. Be lost to one, let justice be done. Farewell. Justice be done. Okay, Zero Tolerance, that was like very explorative. Like, it was just going all over the place, much like that first track was doing. It was just zipping around the riffs, like they've got 100s backed up ready to use. The guitar solos were crazy. Those high-pitched notes are really getting to me, but most importantly, the flow in that chorus, the "This is not a test of power" chorus. Oh. Now we've got Empty Words. One thing I noticed about the drums is like when I've got it like vibrating in my head with the bass drum and the bass, and I can feel like the vibrations, it feels almost like a really quick heart pulse, like a boop, 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 boop. I don't really know if that means anything, but it's a thought. I will say that that riff towards the end really swept me off my feet there. It did not feel like 6 minutes. It felt more like 2.5 maybe. Like, that was 6.5 minutes. Wow. Well spent. Well spent. Alright, next track is Sacred Serenity. Whatever we do, your shadow, sacred is the Alright, instantly, this is my favorite track so far. I like this one. That lyric, serenity is knowing it's safe from destruction of time. That's crazy. Dude, I'm speechless. Alright. Like, again, more of the lyrics I'm not really following too much. I mean, aside from the obvious, like, the chorus that I'm really vibing with. But, like, the song structure it's so on point with, like, every twist and turn that it makes. It is... I'm following this one. Gonna make that bigger real quick. Alright, the next track is called 1000 Eyes. Following up their strongest track with my second favorite track on the album already. I was just talking about not getting or understanding the lyrics, and the song's highlight are the lyrics. The lyrics are what makes this one so good, along with those amazing friggin' riffs. Like, I feel like this has a commentary that, like, really just, like, gets younger as the years go by. You'd think they got this idea just from, like, the ideas of China's social criticism and everything, and, like, the abuse of surveillance and, like, the breach of privacy laws and human rights. And with all of the cameras pointing at you, like, everywhere you go nowadays, and the lack of freedom of speech that we get, it feels like it becomes more relevant as the years go by, despite the fact that this was made in 1995. That is shocking. I'm gonna shrink that again just because it's getting in the way. Next song is called Without Judgment. When you've got interlude sections like this coming at the time that it was released, this feels like this would have been the band that I would have transitioned to after the Black Album got released. Just an off comment. I don't have so much to say about that one as I do other tracks. Honestly, just the way it sounds was really good. It didn't feel out of place on the album. Okay, the one I've been hyped up for, Crystal Mountain. This better blow my socks off. Conjuring power and evil Texas book. Okay, I think the hi-hats and the drums really stole the show there, like in the beginning when you had the tapping that I was kind of like mimicking. And the offbeat hi-hats that you had going on as well during, I think it was the pre-chorus. Like, it was just like those little bits I was noticing for some reason in that song. When it comes to the song structure, I don't think there's like absolutely anything outstanding compared to what I've already seen on this album, which I guess speaks enough for the album, given how good that song was. And that kind of like folk sounding guitar then, I'm not quite too sure the implication of that, but I do know that it sounded good. Next song is called Misanthrope. Whoa. Oh! And breathe the sky. Alright, so Death has proven themselves to be time and time again really strong in their interludes and bridge verses. Like, the change in the tempo and the tone of their songs, they just come out of nowhere, really, really punctuate the song so much. And on it, that chorus riff is probably like the heaviest riff on this album, if I'm honest. Like, close to that one in 1000 Eyes, but like honestly, I think this one is probably just a little bit heavier. And you know me, I like my heavy riffs. Clocking in at 8 minutes and 21 seconds, the final song, this behemoth of a song, Perennial Quest, and the least views, probably just because of how long it is. While we're on this guitar, I feel like these lyrics are probably like some of the most like strong and heartfelt that this album has given me. Like, I'm really, really feeling this. Like, I am so engulfed in this one. It feels so raw. That was freaking heavy, man. And not even like just musically heavy, like it was like really emotionally packed. Like that last, wow. The themes of like growing up and amounting to like nothing. Won't you join me on the perennial quest? Perennial mean to like seemingly endless amount of time. Reaching into the dark, retrieving light, search for the answers on the perennial quest where dreams are followed and time is a test. This is like one of the most emotionally packed songs I have heard in a while. And that last part, man, it felt like this was a ballad, right? That was like a power ballad. Man, if you were to give consistency a name, I would give it to Death. This album has been one of the most consistent rides I've had when listening to music, just because of like the way that they maintained a sound that they were going for, and that sound itself, they branched out to do like many different things with it as well. It didn't just sound like guitar chugging and drum smashing the entire way. They had like really chilled out moments like we heard just before on Perennial Quest, and I think Misanthrope, like as I said before, they really punctuate a song's meaning and lyrics and how powerful the instrumentation is and how memorable it is as well. I would say it took me a little bit to warm up to it just because of the screaming. Obviously I have listened to Slipknot before, which has gotten me used to screaming enough to not be immediately turned off by it, but it did take me a couple tracks, so I may have to go back at some point and listen to Symbolic and Zero Tolerance. For my favourite tracks, I would say we're looking at Sacred Serenity, one I would jam my head to, like I would chuck a CD in my car, just absolutely rock out to that. Thousand Eyes when it comes to pure lyrics. But if we're going with like the best track on this song when it comes down to the emotional impact, clever composition of the song delivering a theme, and just like how awesome it sounds, I'm gonna have to give Perennial Quest one of my 10 out of 10s. That was Symbolic by Death. And let me know what other albums I should listen to next. Catch you later.